In the autumn of 2025, I discovered this big thing at the scrapyard in Hengdaohe. The remaining pile weighs a total of 246 jin. The boss sold it to me for 8 yuan and 6 geo per kilogram, and I hauled it back with a tricycle. Judging from the remaining pile, it should have been a road racing bike before, but it's in terrible shape. The fairing is shattered, the handlebars are broken off, and the gauges and small oil tank are all dried and cracked. I don't know if I can find a replacement for this gauge. The rear frame was also forcibly broken, and the rear wheel was knocked off. It's really tragic. This pedal is also bent. I wonder how that person's foot is. There's a big gear leaking under the engine, but the top of the engine is intact, so we might have stumbled upon a great find. And this exhaust pipe is made of titanium alloy, so put on your gloves first, and let's figure out how to get this engine running.
He just wrote 998 cubic centimeters. This engine should be a 1 liter class, so this car is very likely not just an ordinary cannon.
When I removed the damaged parts from the whole car and took out its fuel tank, it felt like I was raiding someone's home. I don't know if this is a rat's nest, but there are seeds everywhere, and the wires have been chewed bare. This thief is really sneaky. The wires in the back are also all chewed up. This is going to be a real hassle. The exhaust tailpipe also created a dead angle for me. Its impact force is quite strong. The engine side is very intact with no damage, and the oil ring is also good. It seems necessary to use my tricks first. I removed the ice cap that was stuck to see the inside. Except for this straw, which is foreign, everything else is fine, but the ice cap was stuck. I directly used a wrench to turn the engine, and it runs normally, so I feel there shouldn't be any major issues inside. After clearing out this rat's nest, I think to connect this engine, I need to first determine if the engine's cylinder pressure is worth us saving it.
Just now this wire short-circuited, which startled me. However, the engine can still turn a little. I think it's necessary for us to sort out the wires that the rats have chewed.
Based on my experience, as long as the engine of the involved motorcycle isn't seized, I can find a way to fix it. Then I reconnect these wires by matching the colors, but it doesn't have a key. However, this old mechanical lock is easy for me to handle. I just peel it off and make a key by matching the teeth to open it. Then I connected it to an external power source. I am ready to start testing to see if there is high voltage and how the engine's cylinder pressure is. Wish me luck. No, let's just take this car completely apart. He didn't follow our plan and started causing trouble before I could measure the cylinder pressure. In that case, I might as well do a thorough disassembly. If the engine is good, we'll restore it to factory condition. If the engine is bad, we'll sell it for scrap, split the money, and each go our separate ways. Such a big rear wheel, it's like it crashed back home all at once. I wonder if the driver went home that day to eat the meal his mom made. Now the engine has been completely dismantled and the whole car is also disassembled cleanly, but there is too much debris that fell off the car. I need to clean it up. After cleaning up the trash on the ground, let's first sort out its wiring. The ones near the car frame have been gnawed by mice, and some already have exposed copper wires. There's also a loose connection here. If not cleaned thoroughly, replacing it could be quite significant. According to the rules, after 1949, it wasn't allowed, but if we don't follow the usual logic, I do know a little bit. After connecting it to an external power source, there was no short circuit. When I pulled this slide, there was electricity coming out, and after tightening the steel teeth, 7 units of pressure came out, which is sufficient. This way the engine meets the hard conditions for sweeping the car again. Now we can go and repair the ice cap of this cassette, and as a friendly reminder, put on your sunglasses. Of course, this reminder is a bit late, so don't blame me. I changed its oil and attached a gasoline bottle, so now it can try to start. Wish me luck.
Oh, he's really stubborn like a mule. I just fixed this for him, and now it's leaking oil again. I think this car needs some adjustments.
Although it is a car with a story, it shouldn't be like this, but I can kick away the obstructing oil drum. The oil just consumed was gasoline, but it didn't affect the engine's restart, so it seems the engine really has no issues. So now we need to use dry ice to deal with all the dregs of this car. After cleaning the frame, I moved on to the fuel tank. I don't know how many layers of paint I sprayed on it. I heated it while scraping it off, and the paint I scraped off was red, blue, and black, but not your favorite green. I estimate there are about 8 layers of paint. In this big dent area, I first used a puller to shape it roughly, then hammered it out from the inside, and finally used a data repair machine to carefully work it out. This way, the fuel tank is straightened. Then, it's the usual routine. First, epoxy primer for rust prevention, then metallic top coat, and finally, high temperature baking for curing. At this point, his rear wheel was completely ruined. The front wheel should still be usable, but the tire was wasted. After removing the tire, the front hub was still quite good. I bought a used rear wheel because new parts for this car are really unavailable. I put these two into the sandblasting machine for a thorough stripping process so it can more cleanly remove the impurities, directly revealing the original color of the aluminum. Then I sprayed it with epoxy primer and then with dark gold, covering the previous blemishes and those impurities. Finally, it can be sent to the paint booth for high temperature curing and also add some blue stripes. Once these two tires are installed, all the parts of the car are pretty much complete and we can assemble the car. With this cushion installed, the car is considered fully restored. Even if you offer 10 yuan per kilogram now, I won't sell it to you, because it's the legendary airplane in the sky, R1 on the ground. And it's the first generation R1, the one with 5 valves, and it can still start perfectly.
The power of this car is excellent. Let's go out and test drive it now. AMX.
It seems my fortune isn't strong enough. I really can't handle this thing. I need to find someone with stronger fortune to suppress it.
At this point, the restoration of this 246 Jin first generation Yamaha R1 is complete. The saying planes in the sky, R1 on the ground is no joke. It's incredibly fierce. Riding it really requires the courage of a Rottweiler. I wasted my effort. Thank you for your help. Wish you good health and prosperity. I'm going home to fix cars.